Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Desert Fox coming at you with another Wargame Red Dragon gameplay. Today's going to be a little different. We're not going to do a deck build. We're just going to do a gameplay. I was kind of feeling more doing a gameplay as opposed to a deck build because I've been messing around with my Fox deck. And I think it's pretty boss. For those who don't know, this is the Wargame Red Dragon Ash&Shadows mod. So this is not like vanilla Wargame. This is the mod. It's really freaking awesome because it kind of blends more modern combat as opposed to like post Cold War. So I really like this mod. It has multiple decks or multiple nations to build for decks. So if you guys like what you guys have been seeing, go ahead and hit that like, comment, subscribe button. But we're gonna go ahead and go through the deck really quick. Got some infantry, Delta 4s. Got some Japanese supporting units, as well as some SAS and these Dracos fast movers and some light riflemen. And these striker javelins, pretty awesome. And then some of my favorite guys, these Seat, mainly because they have the infantry as well as the Namer IFV. It has a mortar, and I found that that is for the unit. It has a 75 points, but you get a mortar, infantry fighting vehicle, with a trophy system and some elite troops that have like 10 rockets that travel at 30 kilometers per hour. This is a pretty well blended. So you can lay down smoke and you can lay down smoke and basically HE rounds on the enemy. It's pretty awesome. Also, you've got this MLRS. You got this Leclerc anti-air. Got the Lynx 90. The Avengers. I am kind of going through this because I want to shorten up some of the videos. They've been kind of long to kind of get right into the gameplay. There will be, we will put timestamps for the, for where the action begins. So if you want to just get right to that, you can. It's pretty cool. So we've got the Abram Tusk. I like the Abrams Tusk because of the range. Mostly this deck is built around range and speed. So if it doesn't have like good juice on the range, it's probably got really good speed, especially for the tanks. 75 kilometers per hour for the Leclerc, and these guys are pretty cheap, but they're basically a main battle tank. This is weird. 13 points. They're going to trade pretty well. 22.75 on the meters and 85 kilometers. So they can outrun anything that they can't kill, and they can catch up to anything that couldn't kill it. Really good unit. Very good, like pocket battleship-esque. Got some ground recon here to accompany your tanks. This is also good for accompanying your fast-moving force, and some of my favorites, the Comanche. It does have a Japanese emblem on it, but the way it works is the deck you can modify the weapons and I guess these cards, right, and switch them up if you need to, but you can't actually modify the in-game units. Like, they have to be from vanilla, basically. So you just modify ones that or reuse some of the ones that already are in the game. Boom, we have this amazing Puma as kind of a medium tank, so to speak. It's fast, it's got missiles, and it's got autocannon. And this guy, he's an absolute beast if you can catch tanks on the wings, man. It's really good. Cobra, I like the Cobra because of this missile in particular. It shoots at ground units, helicopters, and airplanes. So, really good. Plus, it's got rockets. It's basically just a really all around good cavalry unit. It's a jack of many trades. And when you have a limited deck, card deck, you need a jack of many trades. For the Air Force, got the heavy aardvarks. Basically, if you bomb this, if you bomb any unit with this, it's probably gonna die. Infantry, tanks, it don't matter. It's with 20, HE bombs, and then you've got the top attack at +6 AP. I mean, that's pretty effective. This guy is also really good for keeping air superiority. Got 2 of them, and hitting light targets or infantry with the paveway, fire and forget, very nice. Sufa, also very nice. Got 12 large diameter or small diameter glide bombs, really good for standoff, again, that range. Same here, good for accompanying your Prowler. So they'll lead the way with their jammers and the 4 fire and forget missiles, and then you've got the Weasel coming in hot right behind it. So yeah, that's pretty much the deck. I'll leave it here for a quick second so you can see it. But and also put a timestamp so we can jump right to it if you just want to see what it's built like. I am going to go to a map that I'm kind of familiar with here to kind of showcase why it's important to keep your units in a pretty organized deck, and how to use units when it comes down to keeping formation and properly supporting them. Hopefully I don't screw the pooch too much. But for those who definitely want to see a game where, like, hey, like I'm you know, I want to see how you can build a balanced deck or have a balanced deck work pretty effectively. Here we go. This is being played in real time, so there's no cutscenes. You guys actually see me play from start to finish, deck build to playthrough. That's kind of how I get down, because I don't want to like edit and cutscene and all this other stuff. Not because I can't. It's just, hey, I like to make things authentic. So there you go. So I like to use my Delta Force as like an ambush for the kind of stage, so that the enemy doesn't really get a bead on where my units are. What do I mean by that? It's kind of like they're going to be either distracted by them. I almost treat the Delta Force like throwaways, or to force the enemy's hand. I want to get them to where they're not really paying attention to the meat and the potatoes, which are the tanks, the recon, the artillery, all that stuff. They're focusing on a smaller threat to them that they can't necessarily see where it's coming from, and I like the way that is. So we've got these guys right here. We're gonna have some infantry in support of them. You guys, it takes some you guys. Remember that Jack mini trade, so you've got these infantry units right here, and we're also going to take some like Neymar with them, kind of have them hang back because they go faster. We also will take the infantry to support. Where is the supporting infantry? We'll do the SAS. 1, 2. There's a couple SAS here, because I have a plan that I want to use with those SAS. Maybe take some light right from in. We'll take some supporting Avengers and some quick recon units. It's kind of a lightning force to kind of do what we need them to do. So we got the tank force, got infantry support, as well as light fire support. You also have these Mars for artillery, and we'll have a suppression and air superiority unit. We might actually take more tanks because probably need a supporting Patriot. So we'll take a couple Patriots, and we'll probably take some more tanks, and that'll pretty much do it. We won't take him. We'll take him and support with him. Yeah, there we go. Outstanding. All right, so we have this force here. Its plan is to go to Foxtrot via this road and kind of bottle up here. I want to split the enemy to where he's forced to deal with this, and we can expose his flanks or expose his flanks here. And you'll see how it comes to play in a second. Also, I want to obviously control the center and Delta. You control 1, 2, 3, 4 bridges by controlling Charlie. It's a good natural barrier. If not, you don't control those 4 bridges. You'd have to control these 2 bridges over here. So we'll see how that comes into play here in a second, to see if we even have to maneuver them in that direction. So we'll get the guys moving here. Everyone's just gonna get moving basically to kind of where I want them to be. I need you to go there, please. And we're gonna kind of stagger our forces by levels of importance to kind of where I want to strategically position them, but always kind of end once you give him advanced orders to kind of end in cover if you can. All right, so these guys are gonna go here. Those guys. We're gonna have some Delta Force go over here and some Delta Force going here. The Comanche, the reason why I love them is they have the ability to be strategic, very covert. I mean surgical, not strategic. Be kind of surgical in that way. Here we see the enemy formation coming, so we're going to go ahead and take a couple pot shots at them as we see them coming down the road. We're going to get our Delta Force in position to be able to shoot at the enemy as he comes. And we'll have great recon to do some target acquisition. We do have some guys kind of coming back here. But the objective is to kind of split any movement from Bravo so he can't reinforce his troops. They're going to get bombarded, and these Delta Force are going to get in the building there and start popping those T-80s at will there. He has air, but if you notice, we're already popping his units pretty effectively. He has anti-air, I should say, excuse me. The T-80s are gone. The Tunguskas are gone. All he's got left is a buck. We're going to see if we can suppress the enemy air with this. And we're going to go ahead and set our guys in a to receive the enemy in some kind of formation. The formation's important. We're going to have our light guys actually accompany them. And we're going to have the Namor get in the building. Alright, so that takes care of the buck there. We've got 500 points already, and that's just by the Delta Force, the bombardment, and the... So we're going to sneak these guys over here, unload them, and the SAS, and basically just make this a juggernaut so that the enemy will have to deal with that some way. So here we pretty much, we don't see the enemy. We're going to have our recon kind of go a little forward to see what they can see. We want them to possibly see what's coming down the road and attack the enemy as need be. You can see he's calling in his units, but they don't have very good recon on me. It probably would have been best if he would have dropped, because now that our units are in the are here, we have some kind of anti-air defense in this location, which is good. Didn't see his large force here, so we're gonna shift our army this way. Okay, gonna shift it a little bit. Have the anti-air back up, and we're gonna have supporting units kind of bomb that. So because they're in a on a choke point here, we're gonna get a lot of kills. You see we're kind of just wreaking havoc on the enemy, kind of fortifying this bridge. Kind of have our Abrams back up a little bit, and these guys move forward. That way we can kind of trade off who's actually taking the brunt of the attack there. This is the bird. The enemy is basically just absolutely destroyed with their main tank force. We're up to about 1,600 points of damage to the enemy. These guys back up. We'll move the light riflemen forward. We also will try to support them with tanks on the wing. So we're gonna have these guys go over and we're gonna flank the enemy. Kind of support them there. These guys don't have any recon, so we will call up another recon. And since we have Charlie, we'll bring up a command chopper. Absorbing the enemy tanks is going to be kind of hard because there are so many. But see, he's focused here instead of on the attack that's coming on his wing. We'll have an advantage on the enemy because he's going to get flanked here in about a second. Maybe we have an artillery barrage coming. We've got the Leclerc firing at the T-55. They're shooting at my infantry out in the open, but again, the fact that we threaten his flanks is pretty important. Got a Baratino barrage. That's fine. As you can see, the enemy is putting up a stiff resistance, but because we're supported pretty well, our guys are able to put up even a stiffer fight than the enemy. So it's turning into a nice dicey engagement. Now the infantry's forward. We'll tell them to continue to advance to the town. We'll tell this Delta Force to get back. This is actually a good job for the Neymar because so we're across the bridge. Pretty effective attack if I don't say so myself. Catching the enemy unawares. And oh, here comes the chopper. Couple choppers. So we'll advance past the choppers. So as you can see, these Japanese troops are mortaring the enemy infantry in support of the Delta Force that's ahead of them. It's like a 1-2 combo. Pretty effective. And these Neymar support them. We got more tanks coming. That's fine. We got some Spetsnaz there. We'll hit them with the mortars and support with the tanks. They really are pressing on that flank, trying to overwhelm our forces, but I think we should be victorious. Let's have the Jackals still in support. So keeping in formation. And you notice we got one tank battalion moving forward. We'll try to widen out the formation. But you see, we have one tank lead, support, anti-air support, as well as anti-infantry support. That's going to fan out with a tank lead formation, and the infantry taking the buildings. We're able to even able to advance. This bridge is going to be very hard to cross with all the destroyed enemy vehicles. So there you go. So we're still making serious headway. The enemy is being pushed back. We might have to be concerned though, because he's got choppers being able to harass our flanks. This is good for what the cavalry is good for. Kind of protecting the flanks from enemy choppers, or at least stopping them momentarily, so that you can get some reinforcements up there. We got the enemy's Baratino there. Again, we will suppress the enemy's air defense, and we will bring in some of our own small diameter bombs to accompany our recon in open combat. See that? We'll go forward accompanied by the infantry here. That way they can clear the buildings. If you're ever wondering, you know, you're waiting for the refuel and stuff like that, you got a lot of bucks there, so we will avoid that fight. But the small diameter bombs were able to take out the enemy's command vehicle. We don't know what else he has in that force there, so we're gonna bombard it. And our tanks are completely out of ammo. So this whole battle group right now is threatened because the tanks are completely out of ammunition. So we're gonna have them back up and get the at least the fuel and ammo trucks over there. One of them's gonna be fuel, the other one's gonna be raw ammo. Hopefully these infantry can do it, but we will support them from the air and from choppers by calling in a chopper. If hopefully he makes it there on time, I might have to re-divert him. He's gonna do a flyover. Hopefully he gets shot by our infantry. We have another SAS now. Wow, they're all out. So the enemy knows we're here, and it's not going to be a good day. We're going to have them to start to fall back because we don't want them to get shot at. So we need everyone to kind of vacate so that the tanks can get the rounds. We need them to get the rounds. Good job in supporting the infantry there, chopper. Very nice. So now that the tank has 22 rounds, we've got these tanks lined up. We're gonna cover this flank as well, and can try to continue our advance. We'll try to advance here as well. Actually, we won't, because they don't have enough supplies to take the fight to the enemy in case we come to all threats. I'm concerned about the aircraft or the choppers. So as these guys advance, we're going to keep them in formation. The Lynx is going to be right behind them, and the Neymars are going to be supporting them for any infantry or anything like that, along with recon. And then we will actually attack or assault the buildings there. Remember, the enemy has a lot of bucks and stuff like that, so this could be interesting. So we have a lot of targets forward here that our mortar could actually get can attack. We'll leave the bombardment of that to our MLRS because they got a lot of vehicles. So since we see them, as we take the town here, and kind of inch our way forward. So slowly advancing. We've killed 4,000 of the enemy and only taken 273 casualties of our own. This is pretty impressive, if I say so myself. I do believe that if we get more resistance from the enemy, it'll probably be in the form of like a chopper or like an infantry rush, something that we can handle. So these tanks are going to come around the corner and they're going to drop off their infantry. The enemy is falling back, but he's got these PTZ 89s, which are going to be pretty effective if they actually decide to launch an attack. The rockets are coming in, and they're kind of late, but it's okay. So as they're making their advance, we're going to advance these guys forward. Everything is going to be supported. Very nice. So this entire left flank is pushing the enemy back. We do have limited gas on some parts of it, but we're advancing. That's good. We want to advance all the way kind of to the middle. I mean to the all the way to the enemy spawn. I try to make my game to where we do advance consistently to the enemy spawn. It would have been nice to have the Delta Force for this leg of the push. But I guess the Abrams, Leclerc, and the Neymar will have to do. So there's the enemy fob. Actually, we'll tell them to go left. Because we don't know if there's infantry in the buildings or in the forest there. And we'll tell these Shayatat to clear the forest, and we'll tell these Shayatat to clear these buildings. We'll tell them to advance past the buildings there. There's took a pot shot. Very nice. But we are advancing on the enemy, so we'll pretty soon take his spawn. And we'll play out to the wings here. Just a steady advance is going to win us the day of our supported units. If you notice, this force, even though attacked multiple times by a couple times by the enemy, because everyone was supported, aircraft or tanks did their job in drawing the enemy's forces here to expose their flanks. So a good tactical maneuver on our part. We'll advance the Delta Force forward along with the SAS, who have a couple rockets. About 4. They're not too well supplied, but they'll do the job for cleanup. We'll have him go forward. Remember, we do have this fob here, but we just need to clear out these buildings and stuff while our troops are supporting. do some flyovers. So it's looking like a cleanup, guys. We've killed 5,000 of the enemy, and we've only taken 273 casualties ourselves. We pushed up so fast that we forgot to bring up our Patriot air cover, but that's okay. They did their jobs. The infantry is advancing on Bravo, as well as the Shayatet advancing on the deep parts of the forest. So basically, it's just a hunt mission for the enemy's command vehicle, the last one, which is probably in the forest or going out here. So what we'll do is we'll call in our own command vehicle, and we'll spawn a lot of light tanks that can maneuver quickly and hunt the enemy stuff down. I don't have to go chase all this buck in Tunguska, because once we take the point, we'll just send troops to do that. Or actually, we just we'll send the Leclerc out there. Fine. Finding a lone AA unit. So we gave him advance orders to break to the tree line and tee out. One going right, one going left. That's going to be good for us because nothing can ambush us if we start sending tanks down the road. It was in the SAS this way to support him. And one SAS here. Remember, we're just hunting for the enemy command vehicle. Our tanks are back there hunting the enemy down. Completely out. Very nice. We don't know if their command vehicle's back there. But for the sake of the game, we're just going to continue to harass the enemy until we find... Oh, there it is. Looks like he's going to run smack dab into our SAS there. He's going to... getting hit by our chopper and his gun. I thought that was the game. All right, so there it is. Almost 6,000 points damage to the enemy, and we lost 273. What's the point of this video? Is basically to keep your guys in a good formation, and you can advance against tanks, infantry, and air with a constant, barrage, right? It's like a constant fight, but we were advancing the whole time, which is really good, either with infantry or with the armored formation. Here are some honorable mentions for the battle. The Delta Force did exceptionally well. They always do pretty good because of their long-range rockets and their elite. The Tusks, anytime you can get range on the enemy, it's good to put it in your deck. With its degree of accuracy is good, right? Patriot, very good, keeping the enemy at bay. SAS, same thing. You shot down a fighter, which is very good, and a chopper. So these jacks of many trades are probably some of the best and dangerous units to your deck. Because if you're not paying attention, you say, oh, it's infantry, I'll just fly my chopper. It will shoot it. There's some other units like that in the game that are jack of many trades. These guys, very good. I love these units. They can take on infantry and tanks, light armor vehicles very effectively. Again, same thing. Air units and ground units effectively. At range too. This guy can take him out at range. Leclerc did his job to support those infantry in that stronghold. They got pushed back, but they held their ground towards the end of the forest. This one Leclerc was able to take out 1, 2, 3 T-64 BVIs, very good, and then 2 other tanks. And this was the one that would push towards the end and knocked out all those Bucks and Tunguska. So honorable mention to him, making it through the whole battle. You notice I didn't call in a lot of stuff. It was just taking the fight to the enemy and really wearing him down. We did lose a Comanche in the beginning, the Jackal to the Bomber, and a couple other units got lost in that advance on the enemy. But they did their job to where they held the enemy up so that our units could flank them and get side shots and whatnot. So, yep, that's the video. This is your boy Desert Fox. Thank you guys for joining me. If you'd like the video, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. I know I haven't made a video, but this Memorial Weekend, I'll probably be making a few more videos to showcase what the armed forces can do in the game. So, thank you guys for joining me. Have a good day, and goodbye.